Hi dear students, in this class I would like to discuss submission and publication of manuscript. Okay, submission and publication of research paper. In publishing of research article or manuscript, submission and publication is the final step. Okay, submission and publication is the final step of publishing of articles in journals. And in submission and publication, mainly there is three stages: is the submission, peer review, and production. Okay, submission, peer review, and production. So we will discuss each stages separately in detail. First, we can see the submission of a research article into the journal. Okay, first we can see the submission of research article. Okay, when you have selected a research journal for submitting a research paper and you have completed your writing part of your research paper, then the next step of research paper publication is that is submission of research articles. Okay, when you select a research journal for submitting a paper and you have completed the writing of research paper, then the next step is you have to submit the research paper into the journal. Okay, and before you are submitting the paper into the journal, make sure that you have read the instruction for the author section of that journal. Okay, before submitting the paper into the journal, you have thoroughly read the instruction for author section of the journal. Then only you can easily format the paper according to the guidelines of that research journal. Okay, and you have to ensure that paper is formatted according to the guidelines of that journal, and you have to pay special attention to format the reference according to the style of that journal, and you have to format the text, and you have to follow the guidelines of journal for formatting the citation style. And sometimes some journals need figures, tables, text as separate file. Okay, that means you have to ensure the paper is designed according to the guidelines of that journal, and you have to check whether the reference and the text and the citation style of reference also is designed according to the style of that journal. And some journals need figures, tables, text as separate file. So when you are submitting paper into that journals, you have to submit the figure, text, and table file separately into that journal. And after completing, after you have designed, you have written your paper according to the format of that specific journal, then you have to create a cover letter. Okay, you have to create a cover letter. Okay, you have to create a cover letter to submit your article into that journal. Okay, that covering letter includes the name of the editor to whom you are sending your work. Okay, the cover letter should include the name of editor to whom you are sending your work, if it is available. Okay, and you have to create an impressive. Okay, you have to write a strong and impressive covering letter. Okay, you have to write a strong and impressive covering letter, because most often the first thing that a journal editor will read, that will be the covering letter. Okay, when you are submitting paper into the research paper into the journal, that time the first thing that an editor will read from your part, that will be the cover letter. So the cover letter will be impressive and strong. Then only they will give the first. They will give the comes. They will give a consideration to your paper. So your cover letter should be strong and impressive. When you completed the formatting of a research paper and you created a cover letter, now you can go for submitting your work. Okay, now you can go for submitting your work. When you are submitting a research paper, you have to remember that do not submit your article to more than one journal at a time. Okay, do not submit your article to more than one journal at a time, because it is an unethical. Okay, this is unethical and you will eventually get caught. Okay, and you can make the submission by physically or electronically. Okay, submission could be done physically or electronically depending on the submission guideline of your selected journals. Okay, depending on the guideline of selected journal. Okay, some journal will accept uh, paper paper through physical submission mode, and some paper will accept only electronic submission. Okay, accept only electronic submission. Okay, in the case of electronic submission, some journal will accept attachment. Okay, some others will not accept attachment. Be sure to send your work in the correct format. Okay, when you are submitting paper in electronic submission mode, some journal will accept attachment and others will not accept. And be sure to send your work in the correct format. And when you are sending or when you are submitting paper through physically, that time you include a self-addressed stamped envelope, either large enough to return your work or just large enough for them to send you a letter. Okay, that means if you are submitting a research paper through physically, that time you have to include self-addressed stamped envelope. And sometimes, some journals may inform you to submit some reviews uh, information, some reviews contact information to review your paper. Okay, review your paper. Some journals allow you to suggest reviews for your manuscript. So that time suggest reviewers who know your field well and who might interest in the results present in your paper. Okay, sometimes some journals ask you to submit information or contact information of reviewers to review your paper. That time you submit some reviewers or expert name to review your paper. They are expert in your field. Okay, this is a submission. And after the submission, the manuscript will undergo for peer review. Okay, after submission, the manuscript will undergo for peer review. Okay, I think in our previous class we discussed about peer reviewed journals. Okay, peer reviewed journal. In that we explained what the purpose, what the use of peer review, things we have discussed in that class. Okay, just we can see peer review is the independent assessment of your research article by independent expert in your field. Okay, it is the peer review is the independent assessment of your research article by independent expert in your field. Okay, in peer review, the experts will independently assess your research work. Okay, and this review is sometimes called referees, and they will judge the validity, significance, and originality of your work. Okay, in the process of peer review, these reviewers or referees, check the they will judge the validity of your work, significance of your work, and originality of your work. And this peer review process will help to improve the quality of your research work and the quality of a journal. Okay, Peer review process will help to improve the quality of research work and the quality of research journal. And the peer review team make sure the methodology of your paper is sound and the work can be replicated, and they will check uh, is it fit with the aim and scope of the journal. Okay, is it fit with the aim and scope of the journal that is considering it for publication. And peer review is also a very useful source of feedback, helping to improve your paper before it's published. Okay, the peer review teams will give suggestion. According to that suggestion, you can improve your paper. Okay, so after the submission of research paper, that research paper will undergo for peer review process. In this peer review process, this paper will expert will assess your paper, and they will judge the validity, significance, and originality of your research work. And this peer review process will improve the quality of research work, and it also help to improve the quality of the research journal. And they will check whether the methodology of the research paper is sound, and whether they will make sure that work can be replicated, and they will check whether it is fit with the aim and scope of the selected journal. And this peer reviewers will give feedback, and that can help to improve the paper quality before it's published. After the submission and peer review, your paper is accepted for the publication. Then that paper will move into the production stage. Okay, the paper will move into the production stage, and at this stage of process, the paper will be prepared for publishing in journals. And during this stage, lot of work have to do by the journal production team, and others also have some work during the production stage. Okay, production stage. During this stage, the author need to check and correct proof of the article. Okay, and after the proofreading and correction, the journal will publish the research paper. Okay, during the production phase, the paper will be prepared for publishing in research journals, and lot research journal production team have to do lot of work, and at the same time the author also have some work to during this production phase. In this phase, the author need to check and correct the proof of the article. Okay, the author have to check and correct the proof of article. And when the author completed the proofreading and correction. Okay, when the author is completed the proofreading and correction, then the journal will publish the research paper. Okay, after the completion of proofreading and correction, the journal will publish the final version of the research paper. So now your research paper is published. I hope you understood this class. Thank you. Thank you for listening.